Hey YouTube, this is Michelle with American Girl Moms Channel, and today we are going to be giving number 23 here a brand new wig. So I was able to get a Marie Grace wig, which is very similar in color to number 23's wig. And so even though she'll technically be a custom, she'll just look like a 23 with longer hair when we get done here. So the first step is we're going to have to take off this old wig. So the way I do this, and there's lots of right ways to do this, I'm sure, but the way I always do it is I find sort of the loosest spot on the wig cap on the back so that if there's any kind of rips or anything, you won't notice it as much. And then I just take a normal old spoon, like a relatively flat spoon, and just put it in at the base of the wig cap. You can see what I'm doing here. Until it kind of starts to break loose from the vinyl. Aha! So I got this into the space between the wig cap and the vinyl, and then I'm just going to work all the way around until I get this wig completely off of the doll's head. And I like to work from the back and then pull it forward so that we don't accidentally do any damage to the doll's face in areas that we would actually be able to see. So you can kind of see here, I'll show you better on the camera, that it's already come loose a little bit at the scalp here, right at the back of her head. And so I'm just going to kind of wedge the spoon into that space until I get the wig all the way loose. Okay, so at this point I have gotten the entire back of her hairline loose from the glue. And so I'm just going to lift the whole wig forward and pull. So you're going to notice that there are little hairs all the way around that are kind of glued separately from the wig, and this is to give the doll the appearance of a more natural hairline. If you were going to be changing the color of the doll's hair, you would need to just snip those off with scissors or pull them out separately. Okay, so we got her wig off. See, here's the old wig, and there is no damage to the wig cap, so I will actually keep this for repair projects. In this case, I'll probably try to make a boy doll for a later video. And so the next thing we're going to do is I'm just going to put a bead of glue around the front of her hairline and then tack in the wig the way that I want it. So I'm going to line up her part and tack in the front, and then you can pull the back around and we'll glue that down as well. So I use hot glue. I've done a lot of these and I've used various different adhesives, but it makes it, if you're going to have a child playing with the doll, then I think that sometimes the hot glue will hold a little bit better. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to tack her hairline down just like that, right in the front. And I want it to adhere all the way. So I'll go to this side, I got the front tacked in place there, and it's bonded pretty firmly now. The hot glue cools down pretty quick, so you want to get it tacked down pretty fast and then just hold it for a second or two as you work your way around to make sure that it's bonded firmly before you try to pull it. Because once you get to the back, you're going to have to pull it pretty tight to go all the way around the doll's head. And you can see now it's on there pretty tight. So I can see a teeny bit of the wig cap here. So I'm going to go back in. Anytime you see the wig cap maybe it doesn't get glued down all the way, you just put a little bead of glue and just roll it down and press it into the vinyl and just hold it until it's dry. So I try to pay close attention to the temples because that's I care very much about having a natural looking hairline. Here we go, I'm going to put a little bead of glue right here in front of her ear up to her temple there where I want hair to be glued down. The wig cap is a little bit stretchy, so you can just pull it and then just pin it down with your index finger and just hold it where you want it. It only takes, like I said, about 4 or 5 seconds for the glue to cool down. So then we're going to turn her hair the other way, and we're going to tack down this side. Get those other little hairs out of the way that were left from the old wig, and then we're going to tack this side down just like that, just like we did the other side. A little bit of glue. I'm going to pull it pretty tight and I'm going to press it down with my index fingers and just hold it. You see I'm just holding it with my fingers. And just give it about 4 or 5 seconds every time you add new glue for it to cool down and for the hair and the vinyl to adhere to each other. So that's pretty good. It's already pretty stuck. All right, and now we're gonna flip her over. She says, hi. All right, and we're gonna do the back. So I like to do a little bead around the crown of her head, and then a little bead along where the old hairline adhesive used to be. And we're just gonna pull it nice and tight, and then hold it down back here. All the way down. So I had to pull it pretty tight, and then I'm just gonna hold it with my fingers until the glue dries. And you can always go back in, but you wanna get the front, the sides, and the back all tacked in nice and firmly before you try to make any adjustments to the hairline. You will be able to pull it loose. If it's ever not right, you can always go back with the spoon, or when it's still sort of warm, you can just pull it off probably and start over. So don't worry about if you make a mistake. Okay, so that looks pretty good. All right, so I smooth her out with my hands here. I'm just gonna give her a little spray. This is just the same because this is an American Girl wig, so the care instructions are the same. You just give her a little spray, just plain old water, and I'm gonna brush it out. All right, so I've brushed her out, and with that, this doll has been completely rewigged. So let's take a look close so you can see the front. You see the sides, and then you can look at her from the back. And it's just as easy as that. I hope you enjoyed this video.